So we'll continue with our discussion of electric potential, problems on electric potential. Now let's see this problem. A disk of radius capital R is having a uniform surface charge density sigma spread on its surface. Find the electric potential at a point on its axis at distance x from its center. Let's see this. Now this is the disk, the whole shaded part. Its radius is capital R. It's not written over here, but it's given. This radius is capital R. And this is the point P where we are supposed to find the potential. Now suppose we have taken an elementary section, this elementary section, which is shown by a broken line. This part is a ring having radius r, small r, and width dr. So the area of this section is length of this strip, which is the circumference 2 pi r, into its width dr. We can get the area of this section. Area of this section is ds is 2 pi r dr. Now if we know the area of this section, we can find the charge of this section. Charge is sigma times the area. So this elementary section, which is in the form of a ring, has charge dq as sigma into ds. Charge on this dq is sigma into ds. This is ds, which we have evaluated over here. Now this is a ring of radius small r, and we have to find the potential at this point P on the axis. So it's quite simple. In our last problem, we derived the formula for potential on axis of a ring. That was 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by under root x square plus r square. Here also, instead of q, we'll use dq because this elementary ring has charge dq. So the potential dV at this point due to this section is this 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, the constant, charge of the ring dq by r square plus x square. In order to get the net potential at P, we would have to add up the contribution of all such rings having this small r ranging from 0 to capital R. Or in other words, simply integrating this will give you the result of net potential. Let's do that. This we have substituted for dq. Now integrating it. On integrating it, we'll find that some constant factors will be taken out. We'll simplify it, we'll get it this way. Now this 2 is also a constant factor, but we haven't taken it out because this will help us to integrate. For integrating it, we may apply method of substitution. We can substitute this r square plus x square as something, and x is a constant. Anyhow, on integrating, you'll have the result. This is the result. This is the result of integration of this part. Now substitute the limits and you'll have the value. This is how to proceed for calculation of potential in this particular problem. Let's proceed to another one. This is a very important problem. We'll often use its result. The problem is a spherical shell of radius capital R is given a charge q which is uniformly spread on its surface. Find the potential of center of the sphere, a point P inside the shell at distance x when x is less than r from its center, and at other point S outside the shell at distance r, small r, which is greater than capital R from the center. Let's have the diagram. This is the diagram. Charge is spread on this surface. The first problem is to find the potential at point 2. Now, any of the charges, there are several charges over here, but all the charges are equidistant from the center. So it's quite easy for us to calculate the potential of point O. We can directly use the formula 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r. So the distance of all charges from the center of sphere is r. So potential at center is this one. Direct result. We don't need to integrate it. We can use it directly. Now for the second part, potential at P. While studying Gauss law, applications of Gauss law, we found that electric field inside this spherical shell, uniformly charged spherical shell, is always zero. Field is zero, it means the potential at all points is same, it does not change. So, or just see some other way, if we want to calculate potential difference between P and O, Vp minus Vo or Vo minus Vp is electric field E into the distance OP, but electric field is zero. So Vo minus Vp is 0, Vo equal to Vp. We know that at all points inside the uniformly charged shell, field at all points inside the uniformly charged shell is 0. So this Vo minus Vp, potential difference between 2 points, is electric field into distance, but the electric field is 0. So you have Vo minus Vp is 0 or Vo equal to Vp. Vp is Vo, and we have already calculated this Vo. So we must remember this thing, that any point inside a shell, uniformly charged spherical shell, has the same potential as its center, and this is the value. Now let's see for calculation of field outside it. We know there exists a field at point S. The field is known. By Gauss law we know that we can assume this whole charge to be concentrated at the center, and the field at S will be in this direction, rightward direction. That will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. So field at any point whose distance from center is r is this one. At any point outside, obviously here we are missing, at any point outside the shell, this is the thing. Now we know that if we move through a distance dr along this direction of field, potential decreases by EdR. So this is the relation. dV is minus EdR. We have the value of E, will substitute it. This is the thing. Now integrate both the sides. Here, when r is infinity, means at infinite distance from the charge, we are arbitrarily taking the potential to be 0. And at distance r outside the shell, potential is V. Integrate it, all things, all constant factors will come out. This q by 4 pi epsilon naught, you are left with r to the power. Integrate it, it's quite simple. R to the power minus 2 dr, or integration becomes r to the power minus 1 by minus 1. Put the limits, and finally this is the result. This result is also quite similar to that of a point charge. It means for calculation of potential or field outside a shell, we can assume all its charge to be concentrated at the center. So field will be simply 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square, and potential will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon q by r, where r is the distance of that point from the center, that point which lies outside. So let's see this conclusion. This is a very important conclusion. First one, at all points inside a uniformly charged spherical shell, the electric field is 0. This we have derived using Gauss law. And as the field inside is 0, potential must remain the same. So the potential at all points is same and is equal to the potential at the center, and that is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r, where this r is the radius of that shell. Then for field and potential for any point outside the shell, the field and potential can be calculated by assuming all the charge of the shell to be concentrated at the center. Okay, that's all.